Okay, so we are backpacking. First time backpacking as a family of 6 since Caden was born 8 months ago. Just leaving camp or Lake Sebago parking lot. Here we go. So this was a pretty cool backpacking trip. Not an easy hike in, and you know, especially with a lot of gear. I'm carrying a ton of gear. The boys are carrying their own sleeping bags and some water. And I was carrying Caden too, the little 8-month-old, and my wife's carrying stuff too. But yeah, when you're backpacking with a large group with your kids, you know, a lot of times you have to carry things. Kaylee was gonna carry a backpack, but last second she decided not to. We took a lot of breaks. We were doing some pop rocks. Yeah, you hear that? I always loved pop rocks as a kid. Anyway, yeah, definitely if you're doing hikes with your kids, doing backpacking, I always bring a ton of like chips and snacks and stuff. We started a little bit late. You know, I did this on Thursday night right after I got out of work. We got out on hit the road, but still, here's a cool centipede we saw. Anyway, yeah, so that's why it's kind of dark. It took us a lot longer than I was expecting. It probably took us an hour and a half to hike in, the 1.5 miles or so. Normally it would just take me 30 minutes, but with the kids, with the stops, with the breaks, definitely needed more time. So yeah, we got to our campsite and just started making a fire, started grilling up some food, and then after that made the tent. But yeah, tried something new. Usually we don't do raw food, but yeah, tried hamburgers this time, and honestly they turned out really good. I was surprised. Cooked pretty evenly, a little hard to get started with the fire, but once it burned down to coals, it was really nice even heating, and they got to a really crispy, nice char, and still pretty tender in the middle, so I was very happy with it. I definitely recommend a pair of pliers if you're doing anything around fires, if you don't have a grill vest especially, but the can pliers are key. Yeah, then we set up the tent. Yeah, again, everything was getting late, everything's getting dark, so kind of doing things simultaneously. Yeah, here's those hamburgers. They came out really good. Yeah, nice charred, crispy on the outside, and pretty moist and tender on the inside. One of them wasn't super well done. I ate that one, no ill effects. So I think overall, it turned out pretty good. Kids enjoyed it. Had some marshmallows for dessert, topped them with beans, or the burgers anyway, and had a good meal. And then shortly afterwards, we went to bed. Here's the wake up. Yeah, the little ones got up earlier. There's the infant. Slept pretty well. I think he woke up once, nursed him, and he went back to sleep. Kayla and Alvin were awake kind of early, so I took them out for a walk. And yeah, when we got out of the tent, yeah, here's the campsite in the daytime. Okay, so we just woke up. Pretty nice place. There's our tent. I had hung up my bear bag over there. I didn't bring enough string, or I don't know, I was just lazy. I think raccoons got to it or something. I thought it was hanging pretty low, but I guess they pulled up the string a little bit, and yeah, went after it, so I got a little mess to clean up now. Ended up going for a fairly long hike, which might have been a mistake, because the hike out of there, Kaylee was pretty tired, the 2-year-old, and yeah, probably would have been better to conserve her strength. I love how my kids are so unafraid of insects, especially Alvin. He's always grabbing anything, frogs, insects. Don't bother him. But I'm a lot more squeamish than he is, but it's kind of always fascinating to me how unsqueamish they are. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just so impressed with Kaylee. And, you know, it was kind of, I kept imagining like we're breaking a horse. Because, yeah, she whined, she complained, hold me, pick me up, hold me, pick me up. But she hiked the entire thing. And it was at least 3 miles round trip. So I'm super proud of her. Yes, we need a lot of bragging, a lot of distractions. But I think she's well on her way to being a hiker. So I'm happy about that. Here's a little technical trick you can use to make better hiking. Okay, today I want to go over the master grip hold that I do with my younger children as you know, they're learning to hike or even just walking in general. So here it is. Basically, you take your thumb and you put it in their palm. Hold it. Katie, let's do it. No, other hand. And you put it in their palm, and then you lock your 2 fingers around their wrist. And then, you know, especially if they're short, like Kaylee, they don't have to reach all the way up. You know, they're not holding their arm around your wrist or your hand or something. They can just relax and hold there. It's a positive grip. You're not crushing their hand because your thumb's there to kind of take the place of, so I can grip really hard, and I can even lift her up just like that. It's not really uncomfortable, right, Kaylee? And if she slips, you know, it's nice because if Kaylee, pretend to slip. Pretend to slip. Alright, well, she's not gonna pretend. But if she slips, I can catch her and I don't have to think about it. Like, I don't have to think about crushing her hand. And also, it's just like these like grab around her wrist. So as she falls, it just gets tighter. So I think it's a really good hold. And I do it with all my kids. And especially, you know, she doesn't have to, or I don't have to bend down as I'm walking. So it makes it really easy. Because this is like the apex of her arm hold. So, yep, that's the recommendation. So after a short hike around the lake, we came back and Mama and Baby and Valen were awake. So we decided to go swimming. Yeah, we love this location because it has cliff jumping. And yeah, especially my oldest son, he loves cliff jumping. Just going over and over again. So yeah, and just swimming in general, you know, it's so nice to go on a hike with a destination, especially you get hot and sweaty going up and then you can jump into a lake. It's yeah, this is our prime micro adventure spot in the summer. And yeah, we definitely enjoyed ourselves, the whole family jumping in. I did make a video specifically on this cliff jumping spot, so I'll link it in the description below, and I think I have GPS coordinates on the exact spot. But yeah, definitely would recommend it. It's a lot of fun. We had a blast.
Good job!
Yeah, I would say this particular backpacking trip was probably our most challenging.
Go ahead, Alvin. Go,
only
go, go, go.
in the fact that, you know,
Ready,
the whole time
set,
I'm trying to get a Kaylee to hike the whole thing. Yeah, I could have carried her, but
Kaylee,
I really wanted her to hike
set,
it, and I'm
go.
super proud that she did hike the whole thing. It was a bit of a pain, but I think future hikes will be better now that she's kind of stronger and just more used to it. And then just having an infant, you know, having an 8-month-old, you're carrying them the whole way. They have other needs. Honestly, Caden was great. Oh, here's a good dive I did. But yeah, no, honestly, Caden did great. You know, he was a trooper. He didn't really complain much. As long as he's with you, he's happy. And then putting him to bed, he wasn't bad either. So yeah, after the swim, we got ready to hike out. Again, oh, here's a cool skink we saw. Yeah, a lot of cool animals. One time we came here, we saw like 5 snakes one day, these big black rat snakes. Oh, here's another frog we saw. Yeah. Oh, and here's some cool mushrooms we saw. But yeah, just a cool, I don't know. I'm definitely glad we did it. Here's Caden napping on me. I think it was around 11 o'clock, so he was just napping in the Ergo baby carrier we had. But yeah, even on me, just physically, it was kind of challenging. Just having, you know, the baby who weighs, you know, close to 20 pounds, and then my pack, which is probably at least 50, 60 pounds, carrying the tent, carrying the sleeping bags, carrying a bunch of water. I did bring a filter, but didn't end up needing it. We had the water bag and just a couple Nalgene's, and that was enough. But yeah, so sometimes, you know, Kaylee, we would do double hand grips and stuff like that. So here I asked the kids what they thought.
What do you think, Valen? What do you think, Alvin?
I'm so tired.
Kaylee, what do you think? Caden, what do you think?
Wait.
Mama, what do you think? It was good.
Wow.
So there you have it, exhausted and happy. Afterwards, we went to the Dutchess County Fair. I used to love this fair as a kid, so I was happy to take the extra hour drive up north of upstate New York, where we enjoyed pig races, old-fashioned machinery. There's a lot of cool stuff there. Definitely kind of the fair experience I like. Not, you know, just these pay your money, go on rides kind of fair, but a lot of cool stuff there, a lot of cool animals and green ribbons and blue ribbons and all these sorts of things. We saw so many chickens and just impressed with the whole thing, and I think the kids really loved it. So I would recommend Dutchess County Fair. But back to backpacking, I definitely say, you know, it is a challenge, but if you don't start young, I don't know when you'll actually start. So my kids love camping now. They always want to go, and I'm so happy with that. So I'd say take on the challenge, and I wish you the best of luck. Godspeed.